This is going to be a extended version of my past Batman power scaling video, with me adding in and throwing in arguments that I didn't have a chance to throw in the original. This is more sort of a compacted version of the original, with some of the same key points, just a lot of added content and a lot of fluff to it. So, without further ado, let's get into the rambling session. Batman overall, in the Prime continuity, would be the same in terms of scaling across the board, leaving many things with his character and overall his scaling the same, mainly due to the events of Dark Knight's Metal and, its sequel. With it being established even early on that Robins, including the likes of his trainer Batman, are able to dodge attacks from characters like Dr. Light, who can shoot off beams of light. With it being shown throughout all of his history that Bruce can dodge light-based projectiles. And at the low ball, he can withstand a point blank explosion that is calced to be city level. But I can go further than that, with Bruce being able to fight on the same level as Deathstroke. With some heightened technology, Bruce can match Deathstroke's power, who, at the very least, his armor is capable enough to survive blows from Starfire, the same Starfire who can at least daze Wonder Woman, and from this cross scaling, Wonder Woman can hurt Superman, or is at least in that tier of power. But we can still go higher, as Bane's Venom Serum is stated to increase his abilities by 10 times, which is shown that with it, he was able to easily trounce Batman and break his back. With the new Batman, that being Azrael, in his full suit, was able to easily trounce Bane, with the armor not giving any form of enhancements, only adding razor sharp claws. And Bruce, 1 year later, after some training in physical therapy, although can't match up to the same Azrael, he can still survive long enough to mess with him mentally and win through psychological means. And after a few more years, a lot more training, Bruce can defeat a uh, a non-venom using Bane. With Bruce a few years later, with Superman's powers, being able to trounce a Bane on Venom. And I know some people might be wondering, well, doesn't he have Superman's powers? Isn't this unfair? It's only unfair in the sense that he has extra abilities, but due to the fact that Bruce is always in the shadows, it's very unlikely that, well, it gave him anywhere high enough to the same level of power as Superman. As seen later, Nightwing, who was getting trounced by Bane, is able to at least compare to the Super Batman. And speaking of comparison, there was no comparison between Batman and Bane in Forever Evil, with Bruce not needing any form of enhancements, gadgets, or weaponry to trounce Bane in their fight. With him only using his bare knuckles, he took down uh, Bane in a pure 1v1 fight, with Bane not even landing a single hit. But later on, during Rebirth, Bane did break Batman's back and technically blitz him. Although it was all a part of Batman's plan, they still fought either way. And later on, with Venom, and yes, earlier Bane wasn't on Venom, Bane on Venom can keep up with and go toe to toe with Batman, easily being able to swing at him and get some blood on him. Same with Bruce, making uh, this version of Bane and Batman at least somewhat relative. And even though Batman took off all his armor, he still had his weaponry and had help from Catwoman, which Bane still was able to trounce Batman with. So at bare minimum, from all the showings that I gave, it's at least a 40 times increase. And if that wasn't crazy enough in terms of physicality, we have Bruce's skill, with him being comparable to martial arts gods like Ares, with Ares being known for having all martial arts in all of the multiverse, with the God sphere scaling above all time and space, and, well, due to the Speed Force and everything within it, he essentially is the number one martial artist due to, well, partially this statement, but also the fact that he realistically can travel everywhere and stands above all of them. With Wonder Woman casually being able to beat Ares consistently. With Bruce and Diana having multiple martial arts sparring sessions. With Bruce using old techniques on Diana. And speaking of time, well, time-based characters, we have the Karate Kid, a character from the future who has mastered all martial art forms in the galaxy, which would include everything on Earth that Batman knows. But even then, Batman can still fight the Karate Kid, not just in the present, but in the past, showing that even with an evolution of their abilities, Bruce can still hang in there with opponents that are considerably better than him in martial arts. Now, as per Batman's skills, he has trained his body to survive in sub-zero temperatures. He can withstand a deadly neurotoxin without any form of protection for several minutes and easily get back up with very little countermeasure. He has woken himself up from a magical slumber, so even if it's a magical effect, he can still force himself out of any sort of control. He, in terms of hand-to-hand combat, is a master in terms of pressure points and can fight animalistic opponents. He has created new martial arts, even when he already has mastered every single one on the planet. He has memorized all forms of martial arts to the point that he can precisely know what martial arts other people are using. He can fight with just pure instinct. He can track air currents and can have a sort of danger sense when it comes to how people move themselves, allowing him to predict attacks. And he's an expert marksman, being able to hit opponents and gunmen with ease. He is so skilled with his marksmanship with his batterings that even when near death and beaten him half too, he can still one shot an opponent that is physically stronger than him with a single battering. And he can hit a something so small something so thin like one of Green Arrow's arrows mid movement with a casual battering throw. He is so skilled in terms of his stealth maneuvers that Superman says he has a hard time seeing him. And in terms of Superman's low tier senses, in terms of like what they can do, he can get high while in space. And by the way, the brownies are all the way in North Dakota, and he's on the moon. Superman also, another addition for his senses, can hear something all the way on Earth when he's in the Vega system, which is many light years away, and he can see down to the subatomic level, but yet he can't see Batman. Now, getting into Batman's gadgets and overall his costume, he has a special membrane within it that makes him immune to poisons coming from bladed weaponry. He has a special protective layer in his helmet that makes him immune to mind control from magics. He is immune to mind control from other high level telepaths, which is a superpower, not directly magical in nature, and which this form of telepathic power can extend and affect beings like Mr. Mixie Pitlick, who can fight beings that can manipulate the story and the artwork, like Batmite, who can control and totally erase parts of the panel, turning everything white. The cowl allows Bruce to invert motion define effects like Count Vertigo's Vertigo Array. He is immune to blinding light. He can talk and breathe in space with his suit on. He has an automatic flashbang system that will pop out if someone attacks him. He can shoot out a sonic cannon from his chest. He has a hidden part of his helmet that shoots out knockout gas, and some more hidden parts of his mask include a flamethrower and a taser. His ears can shoot out like a bullet, and they also can just pop out to be used as daggers. His gear can be used to read vital signs and read the area for biological life forms and tell what's going on. His costume can read the chemical compounds within the water he is in, and it gives him microscopic vision, allowing him to see several miles down. He can see the electromagnetic spectrum. He can see invisible beings. He can see in the middle of the night and zoom in at multiple spots at once. He can see weak spots and in X-ray vision. He has perfect sonar detection and has a special casing over his mouth that is bulletproof. He has a unique casing around his helmet that makes it to where if you are a sniper, he can totally fool you by making it look like he died from the first shot, when in actuality, he is perfectly alive, allowing him to fake his death for a surprise attack. He has a special membrane around his bat suit that allows him to move right through adhesives. He has magnetic boots and gloves, allowing him to walk on metal objects. He can cloak himself in complete darkness and change his color to fit the environment. He has a giant electric bug zapper on him that can hurt beings like Cyborg and also charge them. Cyborg is someone that is in the Superman level in terms of AP and durability, with him being able to take blows from characters like Shazam, with Shazam and Superman getting into many altercations before, with Superman at a baseline being universal, with the giant taser function on the Batsuit also being enabled whenever Bruce is unconscious. It also has a giant sonar blaster that allows Bruce to get out of any situation when he is drowning inside of a tank. He has a special part of his utility belt that will heat up if he's ever frozen solid, allowing him to be immediately thawed out. He has smoke bombs that can cover an entire room. He has a large array of flashbang grenades. He carries. He has a lot of grapple guns and a way to reverse the polarity of energy, allowing him to counter energy manipulators quite easily. His cape allows him to glide through the sky so long as he has enough altitude to jump off of, virtually making it to where he can fly. His cape can act like a weapon, allowing him to slash at a person's face with the edges, and it has a special chloroform pouch on it to knock people out. The gauntlet pieces that are sort of like blades can shoot out like a bullet straight through metal. He has a mini clock hidden on him at all times. Like I said before, he has a variety of different smoke bombs, but he can throw two at the same time. He has acid strong enough to melt the metal of a robot that gives Superman a hard time. And just for a reminder, this robot does not adapt. It is just particularly made to be this tough. Bruce has made special flashbang grenades that counter Umbra Kinesis, allowing for him to stop anyone that can manipulate shadows. He is a master in terms of medicinal properties, with him being able to come up with a cure for practically anything. He has rebreathers that allow him to breathe underwater and in toxic environments. He has knockout darts, explosives that can destroy doors, and explosives that can harm people on his level like Red Hood. And as for an example, Red Hood can take attacks from Bruce, with several being able to easily take down Jason. And Bruce also carries with him several Superman tier explosives, with Superman fighting Damage. Damage being one of the more powerful characters that Superman has fought. Soups has said that he is quite powerful, with a single explosive from Batman being able to send damage flying. Uh, and like I said, Superman has directly said that damage is quite powerful. Wanted to say thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification to know when new videos come out. And I will see you next time. Bye.